Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome to Dubai, the land where innovators are born, the land where creators are born, the land where inventors are born. The way this city offers great opportunities to all its creators, just like that, that's how the Art of Intrinsicality is also born in this same homeland. I'm so proud to be a part of this homeland where creators and creations both are hosted. Now, I know a lot of questions might be going in your mind regarding the book, this and that, but let's get first towards the 6-month making of this book. So it all began on October 2024. Before October, I used to make content that was based on elites, the dark world, and the conspiracy side of the world. Now, I must agree, in the start, the disciplines phase was really hard for me because switching from a side where my audience is loyal to me to a side that is completely new, but obviously important, the spiritual side, it was really difficult for me. But Alhamdulillah, I did choose the spiritual side, and that's what took me a few weeks to really get settled down in my disciplines phase. Keep in mind, during my disciplines phase, I was completely away from social media. This was the journey from October to November, and now in November, this book's journey got started. Now from November to December, this is where I started to see the first benefit that got me from disciplines phase. The first benefit was a very high attention span. I was able to focus a lot higher because obviously I was away from social media, I was away from the internet a lot. So that's why the first stage of this book, which is Lost, is totally based on solving this problem, this modern age problem of low attention span. In December, I went to Pakistan. It was a trip with my family to see my relatives. While I was in Pakistan, I was observing my relatives very closely. Now let me tell you something. One of my uncles, whose name is Shahzad, he is very into philosophy and poetry and even art. And I must agree, his influence and also the observation of all the relatives in my household, I got to see something. That all of them, and even the environment that I was living in, even the area that I was living in, I got to see something. There was this one root problem that everybody, almost everybody, was having. It was lack of self-awareness. That's where you see from December to January, this was a journey where stage 2 was written, and that's where stage 2 is picking up recognition, in which stage 2's framework is designed to solve this problem, lack of self-awareness. Examples of this are many, but let me just give you 3, which is very common. Not knowing what business you want to do, not knowing what job you want to go for, not knowing what degree you want to do. So these are just examples of a symptom of lack of self-awareness. January to February, this is where I was packing up the book. That's where you see there are fewer pages compared to the previous stages in stage 3. Stage 3 is adaptability. Now while I was coming back from disciplines phase to my social media again, obviously the disciplines phase wasn't forever. Now here's the fun part. As you can see on my social media, the earliest posts, people are still commenting where's the old content, where are Elite's content. But obviously I had to adapt. So eventually I have adapted it, and you are here watching my new grand reveal, my new upcoming book, my new content that shows that the framework, the philosophy written in stage 3 is working out. So this was the 3 months of drafting, all the way from November to February. Now let's talk about the rest 3 months where I took the book from pen and paper to computer. Now as I was editing the book myself, I got to revise a lot, and that's where I started to see what problems I'm actually solving. Now let me tell you something. In the start, I didn't have a complete picture of what problems I'm really going to solve through this book. But while I was editing on my computer, I realized that I'm not just solving some normal problems, I'm solving global scale problems. So that was the 6-month process of this book, 3 months drafting in the disappearance phase, then the 3 months of revising it outside of my disappearance phase. So I know the both sides of the world. So now let's shift on to what this book really has to offer. So that was the making. Now let's come to what the Art of Intrinsicality really offers. So the first is short attention spans. Have you ever noticed that whenever you talk to a friend or your close ones, your mind always drifts away? And even if you're talking, you couldn't stick to one topic for a long time. One topic drift to another topic, drift to another topic. If you have that, that's a symptom of short attention span. But that's just one of the problems that this book solves. Let's talk about the rest three as well. Second core problem is the high dopamine threshold. Recall the last time you just said to yourself only 5 minutes of TikTok and you ended up watching 1 hour. That's because at the very end of that 5 minutes, your dopamine threshold got so high that you just couldn't stop watching for 5 minutes and you ended up watching for an hour or more. Third is the inability to know yourself. We now live in a time where market trends or external factors control our decisions, which could be as simple as choosing a job because the society said so, or choosing a degree because the money is in this career, or third is simply just going for business because there's a new trend or the wave of that business in the market. All of this is a symptom of lack of self-awareness. A person that doesn't know his own strengths would never be able to stick up with what he has to offer in the market. Now, these problems aren't modern, they are timeless. It's just the fact that these problems are highlighted now in the modern era of technology. And obviously, timeless problems requires timeless solutions. That's why the Art of Intrinsicality uses both philosophy and practical frameworks to solve these issues. This is not a one-time read, it's a complete blueprint. And what's the result of this blueprint? Continuous, timeless growth. Now let's move on to how to use this book. This book is around 150 pages, which is very less than most average self-help books out there. Why? Because I focused more on practicality than just philosophy. And again, don't rush it. Take your time easy with each framework. Because the more time you put into these frameworks, you will let your subconscious mind to absorb it and then allow your conscious mind to work on it. Ideal read time, I would say, would be 1 month. And make sure you practice those frameworks once every 3 months. Why? Because in a whole year, you will get to see your strengths at least 4 times. And the best part is, you will also lower your dopamine thresholds 4 times in a year. And once you get to see your own 4 strengths in a whole year, let them compound and you're going to have a massive product in the community, in the market, in a society, even in the whole world. Now is the moment you all have been waiting for. The book will be launched in 2 versions, an ebook and a physical book. The physical book would only be released in July. An ebook would be available right now in June, from 1st June only till 10th of June, which means from 10th of June till in July, the book would be closed. There would be no sale window available for you to purchase a book. And that is why the people who are going to buy my book, the ebook version from 1st June till 10th June, will receive the physical book for free, which will be shipped to them in July. Now, here are the pricing lineups for my book. Ebook is $19.99. Physical book, the paperback version, is $24.99. And then we have hardcover, which is the most premium one, $34.99. Which means people are going to buy my ebook during 1st of June till 10th of June, or for $25, you'll be getting both ebook and the physical book, which in July would cost you $55. So you are saving over $30. And most importantly, make sure you use a valid email when buying my ebook during the launch period, because in July, I'll be asking the invoice, which will be sent on an email, to confirm whether you're eligible to have the free physical copy or not. And here's the school community members, the people who are the backbone behind this book, who supported me for 6 months. To be honest, without them, this moment wouldn't have been possible. And most importantly, all praise is due to Allah, alhamdulillah, for making me able to share a book which is ready to solve problems on a global scale. So far, in my 20 years of life, this has been the biggest project. I've become an author at the age of 19, And I cannot wait for you to experience this book and find your own strengths and a lot more problems that needs to be solved in the modern era. Thank you so much for your time. I cannot wait for you to try out the new book. The ebook launch will be available from the 1st June till the 10th of June.